Hello, and welcome to Wednesday on the Hook with Cynthia. My name is Cynthia with Cynthia's Joyful Creations, and I am so happy to be here. I know that this is coming much later today than scheduled. It is supposed to normally come out to you at 4 o'clock. This is a new segment, but for those of you who do not know my current and present journey, I'm going to give you just a brief little insight. But before we do, let me show you something else so we can get this segment started, because that's most important. So Wednesday on the Hook with me is literally setting aside, as you saw in the intro. And how about that intro? I am so happy about that. I worked on that for a long time before what I'm fixing to share with you happened, and so I am so happy to have that intro. But as it said, we will take 1 hour every Wednesday and just give it to ourselves and just crochet for that 1 hour free and do whatever we want. So I bought something before I ended up having to go into the hospital, and unfortunately it was supposed to come the day before I went in, but it actually came a couple days after I was there. So yeah, so here it is. And just so you can see, I've not opened it, so I've not taken a peek, but it is something that will be a part of these Wednesdays with us. So let's go ahead and get this open. Okay, I'll have to get help getting that later. All right, all kinds of goodies and 10 free meals. Have to check into that. But what I want to show you, and I know one of my friends, when you see this, you're going to just be so happy, especially if it were blue, but it's not. But look. So we actually have an official timer that we will set to mark our 1 hour. I tried to find a butterfly because, you know, that's my thing. But this was the next cutest thing because I couldn't find a butterfly. So we will set our ladybug for 1 hour. So let's go ahead and get her set for 1 hour. All right. That was not her. That would have been a quick hour. So you might hear her ticking. I don't know how that's going to come out, but that's okay because she's there for us. So now we're going to crochet. So let me tell you a couple things since our timer has started. You go ahead and start crocheting for your hour. I will be doing the same, and then I'll show you what I'm making. But let me first explain to those of you who are new to my journey. I did just come home from the hospital. I went in last Tuesday, February the 2nd, which happened to have been my youngest son, Andrew's 22nd birthday. And I had back surgery. I was in surgery for 6 hours, and then there was 2 procedures that were supposed to be done. They had to abort from finishing because my back was swollen and they couldn't get the x-ray in to see what they needed to do. And so they gave me Wednesday to rest, and then Thursday I went back in surgery for 2 hours. They were still not able to complete what they needed to do, so they did it in a different procedure. And so the back surgeries were successful, and I have no back pain. The only thing I feel on my back are the staples that are there from the incisions, so that is a good thing. Unfortunately, on the second surgery, so my 4th and 5th disc had to be pulled out, cleaned, and reshaped and put back in. Then they were putting a cage in because my spine is crushing my nerve canal. And then they were going to put screws and hardware in the back to hold the cage in place. But unfortunately, they couldn't put the screws and the hardware in. So when they ended up having to do was put a steel plate with screws on the side. And unfortunately, in doing that, they had to move one of the big nerves that run through my leg. So surgery was a success, but unfortunately, I woke up and I have no feeling and mobility in my right leg. So I spent from Thursday till yesterday in the hospital trying to just adapt and learn how to do things and be able to get around kind of as a paraplegic with my right leg. And I'm home. It was a hard battle to come home. They really, really wanted to send me to rehab, and I knew that I would heal better at home. So we're giving it a try. So for those of you who know me, that is my studio right behind me. I'm out in the living room, so throughout this journey, you will probably see parts of my home that you normally don't get to see, just depending on where my location is at the time videos are made. So I do want to wrap up and get off of this whole surgery and the leg thing because I don't dwell on it, so I don't want you to either. And I don't want you to think every time you come on that I'm going to talk about it, because I'm not. I will give progress reports, but they will be very short and simple, because the bottom line is I'm not angry over this. I do get frustrated. I do get emotional. I do have fears. I have a fear of falling. And as a matter of fact, when physical therapist came out today and we were working, I did actually fully fall to the floor, and that was very scary. It could have been a whole lot worse, but he already had my hands before I ever went to stand, and so he had some resistance on me, so it was a very graceful fall, but nonetheless it was my worst fear happening. And so all is well. As you can see, I'm up, I'm not on the floor, so hallelujah, you know. So yeah, I'm on a journey, and I have gracefully accepted this journey, and you know, it will kind of seep in here and there on my channel. So if it's not something that's for you, I completely understand, because it's certainly not something that, you know, I want, and I definitely don't want anyone else to have. So let's move along. What are you working on today? What is your free crochet? Well, for me, my husband, when we went to Florida to get the stuff for our granddaughter, Miss Violet, which I hope you got to see that video. I had it air while I was in the hospital, and we got a chance to go to a Hobby Lobby while we were there, and so he picked out some yarn and asked me to make him a beanie. So today I am working on making a beanie for him, and this is what it looks like. And I love this marble color. I mean, isn't that attractive? Let me try and block that light bulb out back there. That is really pretty. The yarn, I covered up with all the wrapping from the timer, but let me see if I can get it without knocking everything off, because my poor husband has to pick it up, so we don't want any more work for him. All right, the yarn that I'm using is from Hobby Lobby. Excuse me. And it's called I Love This Yarn. Whoops. Got caught on the chair here. All right, there we go. I love this yarn. And it was $4.99. And it might have been on sale even, because it was Black Friday. and it is 100% acrylic. Hopefully you can read that. Let's see if I can zoom this in a little bit for you. There you go. You might can see that better. 100% acrylic. There's only 4 ounces in this skein, which is about 196 yards. And the colorway is called Black Gradient. But it's really pretty. And I really love the way it's working out. Love that. So that's what I'm working on. So let me fix this so I'm not blurry to you for the rest of our time together. Okay, so also, just in case you're new, my occupation is working as a receptionist in the ER at our local hospital here in Newberry, which is where I had all of my surgeries done. And I work in the patient access reception area, and I'm the one that helps check patients in and get all of their paperwork and insurance and all of that stuff when they come to the ER. So I don't always have the same schedule, and so because of that, that's why this video is a pre-recorded one versus being a live. I would love for it to be a live, but I work every other Wednesday, and so since I work nights, I'm sleeping during the day. Okay, so I'll pause that a minute. I don't know what all that little insert will show, but that was the friend that is going to come stay with me because my husband is going to try and go back to work tomorrow, and he will be getting off early, but in the meantime I cannot be alone at all. So she is coming to stay with me, and you've heard me talk about her before. Her name is Beverly, and that was her calling to say that she is ready. So just to be fair, since I did not get this video out today like I was supposed to for you at 4, it is currently 6:30 here right now as I'm recording this. So hey, I'm still getting my free crochet on a Wednesday. So that is all that matters. I did ask my husband to turn the light in the studio off because it was a little bit too bright. And so he did that, and he did. He turned the Christmas lights from Kelly Platter on, and so when I am sitting over there on the couch, I cannot sit in the recliner. We've come to learn that that is a no-no. That I can see them, and they can make my heart smile. And hopefully by next week, I will be able to do more in the studio. So if you're missing the yarn wall, hopefully you'll get to see parts of it again next week. All right, so on our Wednesday on the Hooks, besides working on our crochet projects for 1 hour, we will also have a question that we will talk about, which is why this would be so much better as a live video. But until that happens, or I can do it on a consistent basis, we'll just make the most of it. So if you will, hopefully you'll participate in the comment section, and leave comments. And you never know when I may randomly, just without your knowledge, take the comments from one of these particular videos and use the random YouTube picker and just pick out a special person to send them some yarn for our Wednesdays on the Hook. So you never know what I might do. All about spreading joy. So, what is our question for the day? I thought we would do something light and fun. So here's the question. And I am in the living room, so you may hear the dogs. They are still getting used to me being home. They know something is wrong, and so one of them is actually laying here right at my feet, which is Sadie. I am working on a better video to introduce them a little bit better. Been meaning to do that for a year. I know you got to see them a little bit if you watched the Violets in Winter video on my new granddaughter. But I will be doing a video very, very soon of Sadie and Mackenzie. So I'm sure you can hear them in the background as Mackenzie's drinking water and they're shaking and rattling chains that are around their neck on their collars. So they're just saying hey. And I know several of you have fur babies, so we love our fur babies. So the question for today is, what is your favorite Disney movie? It can be one from when you were a kid. It can be one that you've seen recently with maybe one of your children or with a grandchild, or like me, I watch a lot of Disney movies with my husband. We enjoy them. We don't have to have children or grandchildren around. We just enjoy Disney movies. So what is your favorite Disney movie? And I'm just going to let that sit in a minute, and then I will share with you my favorite Disney movie. Now, I'll be honest, I have not decided if I am going to record the whole hour of our little crochet hour, or if I will just record in segments. So some of your insight would be helpful on that. I would like to crochet the whole hour. I just don't know if I would necessarily have something worthwhile to say for the whole hour. And I don't know if you would want to sit here and watch me crochet for an hour. Although the whole purpose of this is not even about me. It's about us setting aside time to just make ourselves crochet, and for 1 hour every week. And while you're doing that, we can just sit here and chit chat. I do plan on going into more detail with this Friday on our Cup to Hook conversation video, but I want you to know how empowered I am by all of you, how amazing I think you are, and how very blessed that I have the opportunity and the platform to come into social media and get to know all of you. I have met some very wonderful men and women through this channel that have blessed my lives greatly, that have trusted me with prayer requests and have grown with me spiritually and laugh with me like I'm drunk from watching Netflix movies and having some fun on a game night. So I am very empowered by all of you, and I don't know where I would be in my life. I would not know what I was missing if I didn't have you. And so I do have you, and I think it's just always, always important to reach out and tell you just how important you are. So it is funny. My husband had to leave to go pick up Beverly, and so therefore I am currently here for a few minutes by myself, and luckily she literally lives like 5 minutes down the road. And I told him I'm not alone, that I have the dogs, granted they can't do anything, and I have all of you, and I know that you can't do anything. So this girl is going to keep her hiney right here in this chair and do exactly what she's supposed to do, which is do nothing but crochet. So I promised him for 5-10 minutes to run up the road and get her, that I would be fine. So I will keep the video running during all of that. So let's talk about my favorite Disney video. And I'm so excited, you guys. I'm almost done with this beanie. My husband will get this beanie tonight. So that is so nice to be able to give something to him and give back, because goodness knows, in the 24 hours that I've been home, he has given me much. So, and he's helped build my confidence. My favorite Disney movie is Fox and the Hound. I have always been a people person, and I grew up in a home where my mom and my dad kept foster children. And so we kept a lot of infants, and at times we even kept special needs children. And of course my siblings and I, you know, we all helped out a time or two and helped take care of, you know, the babies and the children. And so I grew up in a home where love was a real thing, and it did not judge you by the color of skin. It didn't judge you by your origin, what you look like. And so Fox and the Hound, as you know, is a story about a fox and a hound that are normally enemies. And they're young pups. And they find one another and they become friends. And as they grow up and they develop and become what they are supposed to be, their position, their status in life, that whatever opposition they face that regard one another, their friendship never faltered, and their friendship saved them from each other. And I just think that that's a beautiful thing. And I love that. I love that no matter what our differences are. Sorry, I'm just having to stretch my back a little bit. No matter what our differences are, that it is not difficult to love one another. It is not difficult to accept one another. And sorry, I know this girl's got some dirty hair, and the PT told me I had to wait to wash it. Told my husband to go buy me some spray-in shampoo. So I'm trying not to get too close to you because I know it's dirty. And that's exactly what this Disney movie portrays. And how I wish our world could be more like the love and the boundaries that friendship creates, that keeps hate away and anger and discord. If we had the mentality of Todd and Copper, we wouldn't have to worry about things like Black Lives Matter, or the color of your skin, you know, where you come from, whether you're rich or poor. It wouldn't matter. What would matter is what's in here. And that's why I love that. I have loved that since I was a little girl. And I find it warming that the very Disney movie that I fell so in love with had a character in it by the name of Todd. And who knew that one day my husband would be a Todd? So I think that's pretty cool. But I would love to hear, what is your favorite Disney movie and why? Maybe it had an influence on your life. Maybe it was a particular movie that you saw with someone special. Maybe there was a song in that movie that reminds you of someone special. So yeah, there's many reasons why a movie can have an enormous impact on your life. And I do look forward to the day that I can sit down and just watch The Fox and the Hound with Little Miss Violet. I do believe there's a Fox and the Hound too. And I think I've even seen it, but I don't care for it as much as the first one. The first one to me just needs to stand alone. The message in it was beautiful. So my kids grew up watching a lot of Disney movies, and as I've shared, my husband and I enjoy watching a lot of Disney movies. I'm trying to think of some Disney movies that ended up not being a big part of our life, and it wasn't a lot, but I do remember the movie Anastasia, which I have a lot of friends that really love that movie. And as an adult, it was a good movie, but my children, the first time we watched it, or I watched it with them, because I did always watch every movie before my kids watched it. I was one of those moms. And as we watched it, and it had spirits in it flying around and all of that, they became frightened very quickly. So they never finished watching Anastasia, and to this day, I don't even know if they've ever, as an adult, watched it all the way through. I do remember there was something about James and the Giant Peach. Excuse me. I rented it from the library, as a matter of fact. And there was something that one of the boys didn't like and became frightened. And so we turned it off. And to this day, I, cannot remember much about it, because at the time that we rented it, my gosh, my boys were, Andrew was a newborn, and Jonathan was just a little over a year, and so Isaac was just a little over 3. So I don't remember what it was that was so scary. But I know we, you know, as a family unit, we never finished watching it. And that's been so long ago. You're talking almost 21 years ago. So, but I will tell you one that is one of my husband's favorites, and he just absolutely loves, and it's Barnyard. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, and it has Sam Elliott in it. He does one of the voices, and he sings a song, and Todd just loves that song, and he will sing that song, and he sings it with a pretty good voice. So that's Miss Sadie girl saying hi. And so that's one of his favorites. I know that I used to, back in the day, enjoy watching Cars, because that was my nephew Dakota's favorite movie, Disney movie, when he was just a toddler. And so I enjoyed watching that with him. But yeah, those are just a few. But the one for me that answers the question, what is your favorite Disney movie? Mine is definitely Fox and the Hound. Now, there are plenty more that I love. Like, I absolutely love The Rescuers. Both of them. The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under. Bianca and I can't think of the other one's name, but Saving Penny. I love The Rescuers. I love The Lion King. I loved A Bug's Life. I love Pocahontas, Mulan, Coco. Those are all, I mean, and a lot of the Disney classics. We love those. We love the movie Maleficent. That was based off of Sleeping Beauty. God bless you, Mackenzie. But yeah, I look forward to reading your answers. And maybe you'll remind me of a Disney movie that I haven't seen in a while, or maybe even haven't seen at all, that during this time of recuperating, that I might be able to have the experience of watching. So how are you coming along on your crochet whip you're working on? I am actually on the last row that I am going to do before I put a brim on this little beanie for Todd. And I haven't decided 100% if I am going to do single crochets around a couple times to create a band, or I'm leaning more towards doing front post and back post double crochets to create kind of a ridge band. So we'll see when I get there. But in order to do that, I will have to add in another row, because when I first started this, I was doing all half double crochets. And I apologize, I have to lean forward again. Sometimes I have 3 incisions. And sometimes I just have to stretch them. Not stretch them, but just move. So I did all half double crochets. When I got down to starting to do the body of the hat, I did a half double crochet and then a single crochet in the same stitch and skipped a stitch. So in order to do the front post, back post, you know, around, I'll need to go back in and maybe do either a double crochet or half double crochet in each stitch around. And I think I'm going to do a half double crochet since that's what I've done through the body of the hat. And if you'll give me just a minute, because I'm almost at the end of this round, I will show you again, and maybe up close you can see, I'll zoom the camera if need be, that look with the half double crochet and the single crochet in the same stitch. It actually gives it kind of a little window in between each stitch, which is good for him. He does tend to get hot, but having a bare head, you know, a bald head, he wants to keep it warm, but sometimes he gets hot. So because this is such a stretchy yarn already, it will give him a little bit of ventilation. But I want to go back and do one where I do a stitch in every stitch, and then maybe I'll do one on mine, because since I can't wash my hair so often, I might create some hats for me to start wearing, so I don't have to look at my dirty hair all the time. But I want to do like the half double crochet in one stitch, single crochet in the next, half single, and give it more of that tight knit look. But let me pull this out a little bit so I don't lose my space. And let me see, can you really see that? Let's zoom in a little bit here. Oops, that might be too much. Oh, there we go. All right, see how, let me stick my hand in there. See how it gives it kind of a little bit of openings there between the stitches. And it's just a nice little texture. And I like that. That's a nice, strong man's hat too. I really love the way that that has just worked up. Oh, there, it's really pretty right there. That's really pretty. So I'm now going to go around and put in a row of half double crochets. And before I do, let me just, did I? No. I have to chain one. All right. Let's just look at our time. And I'm happy. I might even finish this hat in our little time together, but if not, it definitely will get done for him today. So that makes me very, very happy that he will get this hat. And it'll just be a way that I can kind of say thank you. All right, let's see. Let's look at our little ladybug. All right, she says we have about 20 minutes left. So I'm just going to go ahead and hang out with you during that time. And anytime you have a topic question, like our Disney movie one, that you think would be a great question or topic to talk about, let me know. And as long as it's not something that stirs up controversy, then I would love to have the idea for our topic conversation. So please, please give me ideas. You can share them in the comment section below if you want a little bit more privacy to your identity and the question. Please feel free to email me. All that is listed in the description box below. I will tell you that I have looked forward to doing this segment every week, just making sure that one day a week I crochet whatever I want for 1 hour. And I'm so excited to have the timer that helps us keep up with the time. I'm even excited to hear how it dings and lets us know that our time is up. And I hope that you can hear that little timer ticking. For some people it might be irritating, but for others it might be kind of cool to have that as a reminder that everything we're doing while the little clock is ticking, so to speak, is all just joy. Free time to be free to crochet what we want. And by all means, feel free to fast forward through this if you want. I do think going forward, I will always stay on camera for the full hour. So that those of you that are genuinely crocheting for 1 hour have something to listen to and some encouragement to reward yourself with 1 hour of free crochet. But I appreciate you spending time with me and helping me finish this very special beanie for my wonderful husband. I mean, he bought this yarn, or he picked the yarn out. I bought it, but he picked the yarn out the Friday after Thanksgiving. And so here we are in February, and I'm finally making a hat for him. So it really does my heart good to get it done and give it to him. All right, so I am finishing up that row of adding all half doubles in each stitch. So now I'm just going to join the round, and I am going to do front post, back post, half double crochets a couple rows around to give it kind of a little ridge look. And I'll have to wait and see, but I'll probably do that for 3 or 4 rows. But not more than that. And oh wow, I can't wait to show you how different this is already making it look. I will try to see if I can make one completed round in our time left to show you. If not, I will show you what I have, because it already makes it look absolutely amazing. Take my glasses off a minute. The sun's going down, so it's getting a little bit darker in this room, and I promise not to move, so I can't get up and change the lighting. So, to help me see a little bit better, and as I go around, you might even be able to start seeing it. I don't know. I do know it's getting a little dark in here, so it's a little hard for me to see, but I feel like I can see enough. I am glad that I decided to do front and back post half double crochets versus double crochets. It sounds like my husband and Beverly are back. So I'm going to pause this for just a minute. Okay, everyone, I'm back. Everyone is in and settled and actually brought dinner. So again, I know this video will normally be done earlier in the day and come out early in the afternoon. But before I go, I do want to show you, I finished up the last row of the brim here. And so that's how it came out. And let me adjust the camera so you can see that a little bit better. There we go. All right. So now you can see how that front and back post made a ridge. And let me pull this out a little bit and show it to you from the top side. That might even give it a better, oh yeah, look at that. You can see that texture there that the front and back post gave it. I absolutely love that. So I probably, and it gave it quite a bit of depth there. So I probably will only do that 2 more times, 2 more rows. And then Todd's little beanie will be done. So let me zoom back here so you can see it from a distance. And there we go. So look at that. That looks really, really nice. And it's so funny because looking at it here, it looks like it's lighter up here and then this part down here is darker, but it's actually, again, the same colorway through the entire skein. There's no variation, there's no fading. So that is like really strange that it does that. But there that is. So yeah, let me know what you worked on today, and let me know what your answer to the question is. And it is almost that time. We got like maybe half a minute before our timer goes off. So let's see what happens. It didn't ring. Why didn't it ring? It's not ringing. It's got to ring. There it is. Yay! So we have successfully done 1 hour of free crochet, and so thank you for joining me today, and I love you, and I look forward to next Wednesday on The Hook with Cynthia. All right, bye everyone. Be joyful and stay crafty.